Hey, it's Craig from Clifton Cameras, and today I'm excited to introduce to you the brand new full frame mirrorless offering from Panasonic, the Panasonic S5. So what is the S5? Well, Panasonic say that you can look at the S5 in a few different ways. Firstly, you can look at it as a baby S1H, and secondly, you can look at it as a full frame GH5. So what does that mean? Well, let's dive into the key specs of this camera. The Panasonic S5 sports a 24.2 full frame sensor with dual native ISO and a range from 100 to 51,200, extendable all the way to 204,800. If that sounds familiar to you, that's probably because you own a Panasonic S1H, because it's exactly the same sensor from the S1H that's in the S5, meaning you're going to get excellent low light performance. For photographers looking for a little bit more resolution than 24.2 megapixels, this camera is able to produce 96 megapixel JPEGs in the high resolution mode. For photographers that enjoy a bit of long exposure photography, the S5 features a live composite mode, allowing you to create light trails in camera. The Panasonic S5 also allows for 6.5 stops of dual image stabilization, which is great if you want to shoot at slower shutter speeds or you want to get smooth handheld video footage. Talking of video, this camera has you covered. With the ability to shoot internally 10-bit 4K footage at 60 frames a second 422 up to 30 minutes with a crop, and 8-bit 4K at 30 frames a second for an unlimited amount of time, the Panasonic S5 is a serious option for content creators and freelance videographers. The S5 has HLG and V-Log profiles built into the camera, allowing you to benefit from 14 plus stops of dynamic range. Slow and quick motion video are also built into this camera, allowing you to shoot at 1 frame a second, which is perfect for stop motion and animation purposes, all the way up to 180 frames a second, which is great for slow motion video. Time-lapse photographers will also love the inbuilt time-lapse feature on the S5, which allows you to render 4K time-lapse in camera, as well as allowing you to use the RAW files at a later stage. The S5 also shoots anamorphic video. So autofocus is always a hotly debated topic in Panasonic cameras, and I can tell you that the S5 still sports a contrast detect autofocus system. However, the autofocus in the S5 has been completely rebuilt and redesigned from the ground up to improve the speed and accuracy, as well as continuous and tracking functionality. Face, eye and body detection are features of the S5's autofocus system. And finally, let's have a look at the body itself. Size-wise, the body is actually smaller than a GH5, which is crazy considering it sports a full frame sensor. It feels great in the hand, and with the 12 to 60mm kit lens, it's actually a really light setup. The S5 has a 2.36 million 0.74 times OLED viewfinder, a 3-angle LCD screen perfect for you vloggers out there, dual SD card slots, a USB-C charging port, 5 GHz Wi-Fi and Bluetooth functionality, all within a dust and splash resistant magnesium alloy body. So who is this camera for? Well, the Panasonic S5 seems a perfect tool for freelance content creators, videographers and photographers who want high-end photo and video spec in a small, lightweight body at a price point below £2,000. This weekend I'm taking the S5 on a road trip around the North Coast 500, and so in the next few videos I will show you a few more of the key features in action. But my initial impressions is that Panasonic have made a fantastic entry-level full-frame mirrorless camera with a lot of high-end specs. Be sure to check out the link in the description below for price, availability and further information, and don't forget to leave us a comment below giving us your thoughts on what you think of this camera so far. Cheers for watching, we'll see you on the next one.